Time is running out. A countdown that began 26,000 years ago is approaching the 0 hour.
We're in this transformational process, and right now is decision time for our species.
Does an ancient Mayan prophecy hold the secret to our planet's future?
When the 13 heaven cycle is over, then will come the complete destruction of all we are and know.
Is the year 2012 the dawn of a new era?
A lot of people have a sense that something is expected to come in that year.
Or is it the end of the world?
In 2012, our complete civilization will be destroyed in less than a few hours.
Plasma, the fourth state of matter, and a major component of the sun. Plasma is the specialty of Aerospace Consulting Corporation in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When journalist Lawrence Joseph became involved with the company, he had no way of knowing it would introduce him to an ancient prophecy that's time has almost come.
I became interested in 2012 through a complete quirk of fate. The principal scientist for the plasma physics company that I work with, his name is Roger Remy, kept bugging me, and he said the sun was having a breakdown, was behaving strangely, was in some sort of crisis.
The source of the behavior is solar storms known as sunspots.
Sunspots follow 11-year cycles, which we've been tracing almost back to Galileo, and there are times when it's supposed to be stormy and times when it's supposed to be calm. And this was stormy weather when it was supposed to be calm. Typically what happens, there's a sunspot. The billion tons of protons and other radiation that issues from this explosion takes a couple of days, hits the Earth. In January 2005, a coronal mass ejection issued from the sun that hit us not in 2 or 3 days, but in 30 minutes.
2005 is one of the stormiest years in the planet's history, climaxing in September with the worst hurricanes on record.
The one thing I knew for sure, because it was the consensus of solar physicists, is that the next climax in solar activity, the next peak in storms, would come in 2012.
Joseph discovers a wonderland of essays and editorials, blogs and bulletins that offer a range of viewpoints on 2012.
Underlying them all was not solar physics, but was this ancient Mayan prophecy that we would complete the end of a great, great cycle of time on December 21st, 2012.
The Mayan civilization of Central America made its greatest advances in art, architecture, and mathematics, more than 1,000 years before the Spanish conquest of the 16th century. But perhaps their greatest accomplishment was in astronomy, with their amazing understanding of a cosmos they could only observe with the naked eye.
They were charting the movement of the solar system, the sun, and all the planets at least 1,200 years ago.
The Maya used their understanding of the cosmos to create an interconnected system of intricate schedules and almanacs, based on spiritual cycles as well as seasonal ones. One of the most frequently used calendars is a 260-day calendar, which follows the appearance of Venus in the night sky and is equivalent to the length of time a child is in utero.
They see their cycles very differently, and they like to connect with the way we live.
Lawrence was especially interested in the long count calendar, used to track 26,000 years of human evolution. Composed of 5 lesser cycles of 5,172 years, it was also divided into 400-year segments known as Baktuns. The world is currently in the final Baktun cycle, predicted by the Maya as a time when materialism would triumph over humankind's oneness with nature.
The Maya seem to have a model of time which is more kind of like a structure, and where there are these synchronicities and these patterns of synchronicity that sort of develop over large amounts of time.
Their idea for this particular long count calendar is that when the sun eclipses the center point of the Milky Way on December 21st, 2012, that will signal the end of a great 26,000-year cycle. They have a belief that when a great cycle ends or begins, the changes are manifest, and it affects both human beings and the planet Earth as a whole.
How that will play out is a matter of much debate, because the prophecy did not specify. There is even debate about whether the prediction can be called a prophecy.
It's not a prophecy, it's a calculation. We are talking about the complete annihilation of our civilization.
According to the prophecies of the ancient Maya, the planet Earth is approaching a period of upheaval as it moves from one great celestial cycle to the next. Some believe that the date of transition, December 21st, 2012, is actually doomsday, when the world comes to an end. Author Lawrence Joseph's interest was sparked by the link between intense sunspot activity and the catastrophic climactic events of 2004 and 2005, and the fact that the next solar climax is in 2012.
The coincidence between the solar climax of 2012 and the ancient Mayan prophecy of 2012 interested me, and I thought, I want to know more.
Joseph found Don Carlos Barrios, a practicing Mayan shaman living in Guatemala.
When I began to study in the university in Guatemala, and I find the elder he began to teach me, and he introduced me into the Mayan work, to the Mayan tradition. I went deeper into the Mayan sacred calendar, and I began to receive a lot of the different prophecies, and one of them is the famous prophecy for the 2012.
Don Carlos and his brother Gerardo, also a Mayan shaman, explained to Lawrence that the long count calendar was designed to highlight and prophesy important turning points in evolution, including the end of Mayan civilization.
It predicted that a large butterfly would come and decimate the Mayan kingdom. Must have been skepticism with that prediction, but the butterfly turned out to be the sails of Cortez's ships.